but I used to be too at campus. Too short.
Sorry, did you undergo surgery?
Go away. Where do I even get money for plastic surgery? But I told them, please, this is for my life. My vision is perishing. I was now a motivational speaker. I know what I'm talking about. When I tell you you are the best, don't try to even say, Roice,
No, that's
you
a
are.
lie. That's a lie. You are either bewitched or brainwashed. When you got these internships, who was the main driver? Were you helped by your family members? Were you helped by your lecturers? Who was the main driver?
What? I was, by the time I reached campus, the whole of my mind was full of disbelief in what we are going, the stuff we are going into.
What was the hardest experience you went through, and how did you overcome it?
I studied my primary schools from 7 schools, primarily. Every single class of mine was studied in a new environment. And probably and most of the years in a new home. So I had a very tough experience from primary. I just want to trust that you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect.
So can we start now?
Why not?
Okay. I don't know how to welcome you, but what can I say? Well, hi everyone. My name is Annette. For those who don't know me, I'm a Ugandan and I am currently a PhD student, but I'm also a full-time YouTuber. No, not a full-time, I'm a part-time YouTuber. And I mainly talk about education opportunities. I try to embed in or add in some videos of people that can tell us about their education journeys and everything they've achieved and how they've achieved them. So in this episode or in this video, we have Roice, and he's going to be telling us a lot. I know Roice, and I'm sure this video is going to be amazing. Yeah, we met on LinkedIn, and I admired how he does things and, you know, his energy. And he's been, you know, my full-time support since we met. He's amazing. I like him so much. Yeah. So I
thank you.
feel like, Roice, you have achieved a lot. I would love, you know, to bring you on the platform to share what you have achieved and how you have achieved them. So, Roice, you're welcome. I'm so happy to have you.
Oh, thank you, Annette. And of course, I must repeat it even when I might not necessarily repeat it. But I really also feel so good every time I associate with you. You know, I just see the passion, I see the energy, and I just see everything that I really love from anyone who is the most transformational person. And it shares everything that somebody desires to be a great person. And this is what literally I am. Of course, I understand, Annette, you know, that I am fostering many other thousands of our fellow Africans under the academics for Africa. So definitely, I know what I'm talking about. When I tell you you are the best, don't try to even say, Roice,
No, that's
you
a lie.
are.
That's a lie. You are either bewitched or brainwashed.
for the first time, I'm lied too. I am very sure. Annette, you're really amazing, you know. So, some other people will share one side of their story. You share when you are also in the garden. You share when you're really happy, when you're sad. I mean, you show people how life is really not. It's not fallacy. It's not fictional. But other people will just tell you, oh, yes, I have a PhD. Me, yes, I am a lecturer. Yes, this is the only view they will see. Actually, my very first LinkedIn, of course, people should know that I am a LinkedIn icon, seriously. That's what I might say, especially that I've been able to attract all great people, UN people follow me on climate change matters, of course. Just search Roice K Bwambale. But what I'm trying to tell you, my first post was about things that are really, miserable. I was with people in the village trying to encourage them to start small businesses of selling buns, chapati. And people were like, I was an engineer. Of course, I started in 2019 to start posting on LinkedIn, but the rest, I started long T, of course. I had a lot of motivation, especially that I already started the association as earlier as my high school. Anyway, have you started asking me about my career or?
What's your full name?
Anyway,
Because I think you have missed so many things. So, what's your full name and where do you come from in Uganda?
when you see Royce, you should be able to know it's Royce Kalencho. And the then Kalencho itself and the Bwambale is from Kasese district in Uganda. That is within the Mount Rwenzori. It is a Snowy, of course, Snowy mountain, and that's why I definitely am a climate change researcher currently. I already know the challenges we are facing by the fact that the snows have started melting due to the highly spiked temperatures. So definitely, that of course that is also one of the reasons to why I did a master's. And I applied for a master's in environmental engineering, which of course I got with the full funding, of course. And so I am from Uganda.
Don't give us all the juices. We are coming there.
That is it about me. And currently, of course, if you to know, I am a lecturer at two universities apparently, but I've just returned home. I have been away, so I haven't even finished 2 months here. So before I even arrived, of course, I had made a name, as I have always told you. I've always told the participants who might be here watching me, have a good profile. Before I arrived, International East Africa, International University of East Africa had already sent me an email. Ndeje University had sent me an email, and they were really assuring me that please be sure to come and lecture at our place. At least even one semester is enough to inspire the entire university. Why not? I took on the chance, and I think starting August, as I told you, of course, I came when the semesters were finalizing. So I shall start off in August. So for now, I'm just helping those who have final year projects and those who have issues with defining their research. Of course, as a person who has also published, if you're not aware, please, Annette, but other people maybe don't know. I have actually published in highly ranked journals, and I have been presenting in international conferences. I was in one of the conferences in Beijing, China, and then I have another conference where we are soon presenting in Canada. And I have a book chapter on climate change and wastewater management. I have had so far now 4 publications and 2 acceptances from a journal and the conference. And this is what I mean by just trying to have a spiced academic life. I mean, it's not only about her doing a project and then, I mean, no one can accept it globally. No. By the time I publish, means I do work. I do concrete work. I do quality work. Not so, I think. So
you've done a
and
lot.
the quality,
I have none.
Thank you. What is it?
You have 4 publications. But I know when the right time comes, I'll have to publish 5 at the same time. So I'm going to bypass. Be ready for me.
That's why that's why I'm very serious on going and again going to Canada so that you don't bypass me by publication. But are we competing? If we are competing, I'm out of the game.
I'm joking.
But I mean, I love the pace making. If you can also create that pace, and again, I feel like Annette used to tell me she didn't have a publication. Again, she's already ahead of me. I will again be motivated. So I always want somebody who will create a space, um, just like I usually tell my friends whom I graduated with that with or without, I'll do my best to always send them my progresses and warning them not to really lag behind. Especially they know I am not a first class material. I have my friends, by the way. I'm this guy who almost got a first class but didn't get it, but still because of the research I was able to win big. So I continue asking my friends, you have a first class. You must be brighter than me. Don't joke. You can get this thing, okay? So I keep on setting the pace as I warn you. Be serious. And as I can tell you, of course, among the many people I have helped, I am proud of one of my friends who was my group mate. He had the first class. After I getting the scholarship, I asked, even before I got it, I used to ask him, guy. I mean, for him, they even had money to purchase a passport, I mean, pay for a passport, which is one of the requirements, of course, usually. Not so expensive because I also afforded it. But of course, I was highly motivated, and that's why even one of my uncles decided to pay for me. When I told him my plan is to go for it after 5 months, he said, guy, I will pay for that. As long as you already assuring me where it is taking us. And I didn't disappoint, of course. My very first application tick, because me, I do things after, understanding all the expected challenges, blah, blah, blah. Everything. I understood this prior to my graduation. I didn't learn scholarships after school, but it's never late, of course. If I learn from myself. I mean, I motivated myself to open Google, to open YouTube. Actually, I didn't even have a phone. I think I purchased my first smartphone year 3. That is after winning a grant. I won a grant, by the way, because I was over reading and writing proposals. So my final year project was sponsored by Germany. Yeah, those are the things, some of the things maybe that can encourage somebody over there. I was poor. As I have told you, I didn't have smartphone. So you shouldn't feel like, this dude who had a gadget, new things. No. Once I get your gadget, I will utilize it. And of course, I was an extroverted introvert. I hope you understand an extrovert. A person who gets his, he interacts so much with the people and really tries to get his motivation, his ambitions, his visions from the interaction with the outside external environment. This is how I was, but I was an extroverted introvert because I spend a lot of time in research. But every time I interact with anyone, even if it is 1 minute, I feel like I have met Roice. I have been with Roice for 1 year. So people loved me. When I want your smartphone, you'll give it to me. Actually, I know you should be able to send them one of my pictures. I was no a braggart. I was no, even when I was doing research, of course, I was almost, I should say, a poor boy from Hampo background. But it's so jolly, everything you say, I say Sanka you. Actually, that was my nickname. When you go at the university, ask for Sanka you. Who is Sanka you? And I want to say thank you, please. Every time this is why it used to sound like I used to pronounce it as Sanka you. And they call me Sanka you. So what I mean, I was this person who's really, full of inspiring other people. I didn't think of Sanka you. I mean, I know takes and effort. I mean, I know the effort behind trying to be good people. They're very scarce work. So I always appreciate whenever I find anyone who has any little goodness. You don't have to really be the best person to meet me, and then you get I encourage you, and that's why I think I have money to bring to bring such to build up such a big thing of convincing people who are in Japan, who are in UK, USA. Please, 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 please be part of the mentors. Keep on, if you're very busy, to send things in the group. At least just say, since you are my friend, just send them on in my WhatsApp. Me, I'll push them so that I will answer the questions. And and people are doing this, and they even encourage. Some of them are encouraged to continue posting. Whereas, of course, Annette, I warn you, I warn you, I've settled. Get time for these mentees. And remind you, we now have 4 groups. So we are fostering a group of 5. Other groups, thousand. They are now coming to 5,000 mentees. You'll be there, and you think
That's a
you will
good
just
one. I should get time for them. The best thing for me to do is Zoom. Organize a Zoom, call me. I'm so good at talking, but thinking and posting things might be hard. But if you organize a Zoom, I'm so good at participating in video calls or video talkings or meetings. That's where lies. Yeah, I
I
promise.
much.
From now onwards, I'm gonna do better as a mentor.
Thank you, please. I really love the way you just said it. Uh huh.
Where did you do your
Okay.
You come from Kasese. Kasese,
Yeah, so I'm a Mukonjo.
no.
I am a Mukonjo from the place which the place of the king, the king Mumpere. Of course, he is in prison, eh? But I am not a politician. There is nothing much I can talk about that.
So wait, do you what's weather like in Kasese? Because you are near the mountain, which is snowy. Is it so cold?
When you're near the mountain, of course, actually, when I say I come from the mountain, a mountain actually is beyond what people imagine. I have ever gone with some people. We move over the hill, even in the different areas of the country and even outside the country. Whenever we climb a hill, somebody says, "Mama, this is so mountainous." No, when I say the mountain, even we who are from Kasese, the mountainous region, we cannot live at the mountain. The mountain, it takes you 7 days to climb mountain. So I literally what I mean. We decided the footsteps of the mountain, okay? But so still being near the footsteps of the mountain, it was cool, It's cool. It's always overraining, and that's why many people overproduce from that.
Okay,
But
yeah.
that's it.
I
That is that
understand.
place. However, no, don't over understand.
No, I understand. Like basically.
But perfect. But otherwise, it's that's it.
Yeah, your network is breaking. I don't hear you properly. I can't hear the words clearly.
It's strange. People deserve to see that. It's now really fine. That's perfect. But I was just trying to let you know that really it's really a cold region. Mount Rwenzori region is a cold region. However, when you're at the flatlands, like in the town, actually, that's where now the Kasese district town is, and the municipality itself, you're likely to have a different experience because it is hot. I don't know whether it's because of climate change, because really, I can assure you, it's near the mining. A lot of copper mining has been happening near the town. Of course, it's where Kilembe copper mine is located near the district, and near the Kasese district. And of course, recently we had an irrigation system. I visited it, of course. One of the engineers called me, especially when they see me on LinkedIn. They say, "Oh, this guy knows a lot about these water things. Let's also take the privilege of hosting them. Whereas I also, of course, I'm also indulging in the recognition. I feel like, wow, I went there, and the irrigation, unfortunately, has it has got accomplished. But again, they have a journey to go. The whole water is of mixed quality because of the copper mining. So the system, yeah. So, but to leave that as that, I think people should have a clear reason to be motivated. The fact that I come from the mountainous region, we were basically most people were farmers, and what you might have forgotten, we are just at the bordering district, the transborder inter-country border districts. So you should also know that there is a lot of business going there. So it's not easy to for anyone. I mean, by then there are very few people motivated to really learn, to go for study. People were doing business of magendo, which is to do with what is the English term of magendo, please? Because I
Smuggling.
smuggling, smuggling, I think.
Smuggling. Isn't that magendo?
Yeah. Yes, magendo.
Bring in goods without paying taxes. You know, you avoid paying taxes.
Yes. Yes, they could, and that is a very serious business at any border, even if you ask anybody.
Yeah.
It's looking for, of course, the uneducated people, and even if it's uneducated, they end up being, of course, the greatest business at the border. You find the so-called the papa. Papa is a very serious term for only big dudes when you just see. So the papas who really deal in this smuggling and even gold making, I mean, mine gold in DRS, and they pass it via some routes that you never understand. These are now the rich men, and I am trying to show you how it was tricky being at such a border, and then you be focused, you be very dedicated during my secondary to a level that I didn't, and it has never been my passion of being a politician. But I reached an extent where at my secondary school, people figured it out that I had all the most genuine qualities of a leader. They had to nominate me, and they put a condition: anyone who would come, those were students themselves in my class, and they spread the news to other classes. Anybody who would come against Roice, regret your poor life. You will not pass. And you know what happens? I became a head prefect. If I said a headmaster, a head prefect, please, of the secondary school, without campaigning, without anything, a record that has never happened. And I became a head prefect because literally by then, when I was already in A level, I had made an association that brings different students from different schools together. As all those, especially those who are from Kasese district. So those who had a touch with this association, the idea was a student to student self-learning. Students who are the best from Mundare, from Budo, whenever it's a holiday, it is a must. Once you subscribe to this family, we call it MLO family, moving library. You should consider that you are a moving library, that you must share this knowledge to whoever you meet at zero cost. And the fact that you're recognized, the village, of course, I realized we had no chances of our people succeeding in science. We had literally, I was taught by diploma teachers who even a few of them who were better were even scarce. They were being fought for in the all the schools which were around. So what I mean, I knew the challenges I was passing through, and I had to figure out a way of transferring the knowledge from better schools, secondary schools, to these disadvantaged ones. And the only way I could do that is by assuring I do it via students collaboration. And because people loved me and loved my mind, even when I was at the poorest school, I was a little bit bright, and not just bright. There are many bright people I've met, but I think I was a little bit wise because I even had, by the way, a Facebook page called "The Wisdom of the Few." I mean, I think I had some wisdom in me.
I do feel you a smart person, and being smart doesn't just come abruptly. It starts, from the early ages. You were
of course. Do you know how it came? To just cut you short.
Yeah, please go on.
I am a person who lived in I studied my primary schools from 7 schools, primarily. Every single class of mine was studied in a new environment. And probably and most of the years in a new home. So I had a very tough experience from primarily. I knew how to ensure I love people by all means, because even the disabled could help me, because there are times where you would change environment and totally who is taking charge of you is not friendly. And you don't, and the only chance you have is to ensure you befriend people and you ensure you actually also sell them good ideas. So I was even giving of course advices as a younger dude to the married, and people are like, what a beautiful mind. I didn't have time for this first life. I mean, I tell them, please, what if you do this, your children will suffer like mine. I mean, the married, the kind of advice I was giving is to ensure their children don't suffer, because I knew the repercussion of being in a polygamous marriage. I won't talk much, but one of the contributing factors is that while I was moving there and there, were very many children, and my father, being a person who loves the academics, he has assured all his 17 children are in school, even though he didn't have a lot of money. But I knew how it was terrible way to be from a polygamous marriage. So ideally, I mean, I had a lot of encouragement, again, a lot of, academic passion and commitment. Changing school every single year that comes by. You know what it means? And there are 7 classes, 7 schools. Maybe, Annette, if you're just undermining peculiar life scenarios. This is I mean, it's something different. I can assure you, I just became an old dude, an old boy, even yet at 13 years. And that's why it is not strange for you to realize that the people whom I used to guide at that age, they also became great at the young age. Those who picked up, because literally I started very early. The inspiration. Now the people whom I inspired, they are either great scholars or they are great CEOs. Because those who were good debaters, I could tell them, please catch that debate wisely. Debate about things that will sell you. Don't debate about politics. Debate about climate. Debate about this. Imagine at that young stage. That's why it's not a surprise that when you go on my LinkedIn, you'll find the CEO, for instance, of Ihandero. She's called actually Muhindo Esther. I hope you can get your time. Look out for Muhindo Esther.
I follow her. I follow her, yeah. She follows me and I follow her,
Imagine. This is a young lady who is just doing a diploma, but she's a CEO. She has won grants from the Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth to go and provide bio-innovative solutions to our area, especially that is even fostering refugees, in addition to its already felt challenges. I mean, this is a lady, at 13 years, she was already having a foundation. That's what I mean by inspiration. I have inspired people, and this lady is a person, wherever she goes. So sometimes also building, I think, a reputation is important. Once you construct an image, it will follow you. That image will really should never leave you, especially once it is a reputable image. It will work out for you, and you really, even your work will be very simple. Every time I say I want to mentor certain people and it is too much on me, I already have people who love me, and I already mentored them. They're already almost like myself. I tell them, go and mentor. So like wherever I am, Esther is not a PhD person, is not a master's person, is not. But Esther and her fellow co-founder, who is called Misach Daniel, is a boy also. Because they really have understood the vision, and their vision almost is I mean, they know it's because of me. Wherever they go, they try to ensure they accept anything I give to any task I give to them, even if it needs volunteering. So in the group there, even if they are not masters, PhD people, they are there to also assure anyone who disturbs in the group or what, they remove you, or they add you, or someone who wants to spoil the relationship of Africans. So what I'm trying to tell you, they are not there to get PhD scholarships, no, but they are there now to foster that vision that I have of ensuring good mentors come together. And moreover, I am a Mukonjo, Muhindo Esther. The fact that I didn't have chance to come to Kampala when I was in secondary. Definitely, my youngest mentees, Misach Daniel, and the rest, who are founders, and actually the doctors that I have, like Makeo Onan now, who is also a very big, great person. I mean, they're very great. But what I mean, the fact that I didn't get chance to come to the other regions of the country, my young people that I met with, they are from my home area. But every time I go, I impress diversity. Just like I helped people who were not part of my family, even if I was in the district. People who were not even so related to me. I will even see a disabled, but I be like, how can I create an association for this person? And I teach someone. Teach her how to write a proposal and wins the proposals for fostering other disabled people. I mean, this is how I think. It's not about how is this person related to me. That is rubbish. I'm very sorry. I don't like a person who wants to. I mean, and this is the mindset that has let me go far. You can imagine. I won a scholarship where even young people, I mean, only experienced people in research could only win it. For it to get it, even a master's, imagine a master's, not a PhD. You do a you have a proposal. I mean, you have to submit a master's proposal, and the interview concentrates on that. They have no time even for the motivation later. I mean, they are going to wallop you according to the topic that you bring. That thing, I want it. This is all because of the, the keen, the meticulousness. And this is what I encourage everybody to really, cultivate. Was you really so meticulous and very focused? There is having a vision that is not focused. Again, you have a vision, but again, you're not really so specific. Whenever you want this, you want it. When you are the person wanting a scholarship, you are the one wanting to become the best business person. You want to, okay, it's fine. But then have you focused one by one? You see how it goes, but then you're just there wishing. No. Me, was I say I need a scholarship. I decided on this when I was even still at campus. I started working on this ASAP. But you see, I also, as I start talking, I talk a lot, but I end up getting off the major points. But I feel everything I think maybe is inspiration, maybe.
Yeah, I enjoy everything you say. What I wanted to say before we move on to the next meeting or the next part is, Roice, you grew up so fast at such an early age. I mean, at your age, I don't know what I was doing, but I think I was playing. The only thing I knew was take courage. I played. That's what I know. I mean, these things of inspiring others, do things for others. They've started after joining university. I wanted to
And,
help.
and
I didn't have the resources, and I think I was fighting my own demons, or I was in my own life. I had my own challenges, so it was really hard. The only thing I focused on was to make sure that I'm the number one in class. But what I remember doing was trying to teach others at school, to lead
okay.
discussion groups. That's what I did. I don't remember doing anything else. I was living a life, actually. You are amazing. You
Good.
grew up so fast.
Thank you.
How did you do
Thank you. I
all
love
that? How could you advise
uh,
people? I mean, like, whenever I saw a family where they had issues, I had to just run. None of my business. I just can't say anything.
and,
I can't.
never mind. Yeah, we are born to execute things differently, because you are ending up doing the same, meeting the same vision differently in another manner. Yeah, this is how now already you're here again. I mean, you have already displayed my inspiration to some other people there. Can you hear me, Kazi? Can you hear me really?
I can hear you, Royce. I can hear you.
Okay. Is that lipstick? I've never seen lipstick on your lips. I mean,
It's Vaseline.
maybe you put on Vaselina. So
Yeah.
is it summertime? Is it summertime? Because this is how I was preventing summer from hitting me every time
Yeah.
I was outside. Here we have a dry season, you know it well. In Uganda, we have a dry season, not summer. It is dry indeed, but it's not summer.
Yeah. And our
Not so.
bodies have adapted
Or we can
so
make
well.
our dry season in
Right.
summer. Is it also summer?
Hmm?
But slowly by slowly, our dry season is also tending
Summer.
to emulate the real summer.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
tough,
I
it's very
agree.
tough. Again, I'm excited. But can't I be too serious for the first time? Like, I be like a soldier.
I love
You
you
know?
because you are you. So be that, okay? Don't worry about anything, okay? Yeah. Royce, you,
Yeah, I mean, anyway, it's fine. And I always want to also imagine what it looks like. I'm always curious how it looks like to be like some other person. And I be like, indeed, this is beautiful also. If I could be like this for the whole year. Anyway, I mean, that's why I can try to also be very tough like a soldier. Then when I see everyone hating me, I'll be like,
I'm
it's really
sorry.
bad to I love even I love kind of multi-perspective view of people of people's values, people's culture, how people do their things. I want a multi-perspective view. You really, really, you have said you are a Buddhist. You really, really have said you're a Christian. Really, really. How does it feel for you to be like this? How does it feel like to be like this? And I mean, this is it. And that's how I just stay in a. By the way, can you imagine when I went to Egypt, Japan University of Science and Technology? Eh, of course, now I was a confirmed researcher. I got my master. I mean, I was now a master's researcher. By the way, when you are at that university, you have your personalized office. You have, of course, you're sleeping like, a king. I don't know even how to tell you. Japanese had sponsored us in a manner that you must be the best researcher. So what I want to tell you, there came an initiative called Cosimena under Daddy, outside even our university, sponsored by Germany. DAAD sponsored a project of Cosimena. Cosimena, if you look for Cosimena, Cosimena, MENA is for MENA region, Middle East. So it was a collaborative project. They wanted to bring climate change experts, PhD masters, graduates, and the continuing ones, but in the final year. They wanted to bring them together, those from Middle East. Get me well, from Middle East. That must be Jordan, Sudan, Egypt, bringing them together with the German experts. And then they the project. Should I tell you?
You should.
Because of my many mindsets.
We are in.
Living harmony with nature and people. Having not to really undermine other people's, values. Even without compromising mine as well. Almost the whole Egypt. I mean, let me say the research area in particular. Everyone who got just to meet me in a conference, who got just to meet me when I went to Jordan, those who attended my Chinese conference, professors are interlinked. Those now, of course, who saw my profile of having worked with German people, and yet my Japanese university was located in Egypt. So what I mean, the university was in the Middle East, but not me. Myself, I was not a Middle East guy. We applied many Africans, sub-Saharan African people. But DAD, after looking at the wide perspective of all this, and some of the panelists had ever seen my records. Of course, I even built I and some other comrades, we initiated an organization, student-based organization, which has a mother association in Germany. So it brings German students and Ugandan students together. They had ever seen me somewhere. They said, so probably on the panel, what I can assure you, they were Egyptians to decide on whether they should include me. The German guys, they included me. I was the only, even if you go and ask DAD in Cairo, those who recommended me on that project, they will tell you this is the only guy who has ever broken this record. I mean, I joined the project as a sub-Saharan guy, but among the Middle East and the German guys. But because I understand people's missions and I can fight hard to ensure people meet their mission, irrespective of where they come from. They are pretty sure, and indeed the project was a success. And I mean, even now, when you go in our group, I mean, you don't have that time. You're very busy. But just know we have some German people.
I can get that time. I can get that time.
I have people from Jordan and Germany who were part of that project, and they keep following me in every group. When I say this is for Africa, they say, no, as long as you're there, we know we will have a good place there. You can imagine. I mean, this is what it means to embrace a kind of a mindset that is really open enough to discover and explore the best out of the people.
Yeah. Open-mindedness
is with a notebook.
Roice,
are you in a notebook?
I'm very sure that's one of the traits that have, enabled you to succeed in everything that you've been doing. You are so flexible in terms of thinking, that open-mindedness, that playfulness. You are serious when it needs to be serious, but you're also jolly. That makes you approachable, in a way. So it's attractive, and you are smart, intelligent, naturally. So those things, when combined together, make things, a bit easier. And so many people, energy attracts energy. So many people tend to want to work with you, to be, near you. And I think it's one of the reasons why I do have you. Yeah. And I pinned you.
I thought I have you. Are you the one who have me? Really?
Yeah. I have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And else to tell the people, otherwise, those who don't know, I was on what we call '37 scholarship that was enacted, established from a Tokyo-based conference, TCAD. So it is about Tokyo International Conference of Africa and Japan. So it was something like, you see her? I'm Roice, because you had your degree from Japan and now you feel, hey, Tokyo.
No, that's not the thing. The thing is, Roice, I want to ask you about your education journey from primary to not primary, from secondary to masters. So don't start giving us that information before you reach there. Can I just ask you a few things about your secondary and then your undergrad and then we go to masters? Because you're giving me so much information and I'm sorry in the coming minutes. Is that okay with you?
Why not?
Okay. So in your secondary in Kasese, right?
Yeah, I had my secondary from the least known school called the Karam Secondary School. You can hardly even find it on it.
Yeah,
Karampi.
Even my school, you can't find it anywhere on the internet, but it doesn't matter. I'm here at Manchester. Anyways, what did you do at high school?
Of course, high school I did PEM as a combination, physics, economics, mathematics, and I was fortunate enough not to get the government scholarship. I am saying fortunate because the best the government can give me it could be a wrong course. So I was fortunate enough that I didn't get a government scholarship, and then I went through the struggles which I'm used to, but not so much struggles. My father paid half fees, and my uncle paid half fees. That's why I love my entire family. I think also partly my family also did great. Not partly. Actually, it hugely contributed to my way of thinking. Yeah, because in as much as my father didn't have a lot, but they had a spirit. I mean, this unifying, unanimous spirit. Because you find my father taught another uncle of mine, of whom they are born with, and you find that uncle also is, I mean, like that. And then the uncle paid the half fees, and this is how life was really sweet. I finished on 50-50 shared yeah, sponsorship. So I went for a civil engineering degree at Ndeje University. Ndeje University, I can say, is the third university in engineering. I think even if you ask somebody out there who is familiar with engineering, he will tell you good. But I've said the third. I didn't say the first. You should imagine. I didn't go to the first one because I couldn't get the government scholarship which would take me there easily. I mean, not as such, but even I think the competition. But luckily enough, all those who went even at the first, I went at the third. We met with them, and as I talk now, I'm mentoring some of them on how to get scholarships. So that's how it and ideally, I went to Ndeje University. Ndeje University has a campus in Kampala, and Kampala being a state, of course, there is openness to this modernized situation. A lot of okay, if you really aren't so serious as such, you can easily be taken up by a lot of activities. I mean, Yeah. You can
So,
be. But
Royce,
me, I went to the village and I enjoyed the village, Ndeje University campus of Luero, not the town one, as I have said. And
mm,
that's how I did. Yeah, anything you wanna know? Otherwise, I told you in my third year, I was always asking myself, what is coming? What is coming? And I realized that there was an opportunity that was opened up for finalists
mm,
at Ndeje University
mm.
under one of the research centers at the university. So we had to apply. And to surprise you, to shock you, I said Muhindo is from Renzori.
Yeah.
I had a guy who was from Renzori. This guy, everything I want to write, he says, Royce, writing is magic. You are writing every time, even if we are many bright boys here, but every time you write, you inspire. I mean, you bring the multi-perspective, multifaceted view of the concept, and this intrigues the people. That boy called Muhindo engaged me in writing this, a proposal for
No,
final
no, not
project. We won.
Mohindo Esther. Mohindo Esther is a girl. So you're talking about Mohindo, a different person who is a boy.
Who is a boy?
Okay.
Now, as I can assure you, by then we won the grant, a grant for executing our final year projects. They were giving it to two people, and you should note it. They only, like as we developed the ideas together, we all got, and we are the only ones who got.
Only two
So
people
that's
got the grant to do your final year project.
yes,
Congratulations.
and yes. So we did the project, and this exposed us to a lot of things. Like I told you, we got to know what was happening in the research center. We used to see the doctors in the research center, water research and development center, and Regio University. That's how it is called. I was wondering, we could see white people. We see my good doctors called like the Dr. Nyenje Philip. You know Nyenje? I mean, does Nyenje sound familiar to you? Nyenje. I had thought Nyenje is a Luganda name. You're not serious.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, disadvantages of growing up in a village. I know nobody.
Sorry about that. So this doctor here loved me, and he loved my mindset. I was so much into research. I can end up getting even a 70 in a question to where I would have got 90, because I'm spending a lot of time on connecting a question to the field. That's what I did. Actually, that's why even previously you might have seen me. If you haven't seen me, you will see me, or I will send you even the link of how I was called for something different from water. So me, everything I did my best during class. I look for a computer. I ask myself, this is theory. How does it work on a computer? Do we use a hand calculation? No, we use a software. How does that software work? That's how I was operating. So definitely this professor loved me and knew that I'm a big deal in research, even if I didn't get a first class, but I'm a very first class material according to him. And definitely him being part of the panel and every other person, they were really convinced. All of them, they knew I am a researcher. No jokes.
That's the power
I
of
want
having someone who believes in your capabilities, not someone who just looks at your grades and be like, oh, they didn't get a first class. That's the power of
yes,
it.
because
That's the blessing.
even though I was doing well before I reached the fourth year when I was third year, but I didn't have a first class. I have to emphasize that. The idea is I must also have passed, because also getting a lower class, even if you say you are a researcher, no. You should be able to figure out at least the major concepts, so that this cram work, the crammed calculation, past papers, you don't have time for that. Then we forgive you. You get 70, but you get a 30. Please, those who are students, I have not said you should mediocre around. your car, you. So I visit my dear Annette, and that's how life was. And I really won the grant. And do you know? Should I shock you? I never wanted to shock you.
Please do. I
I
love it.
have my friend. I have my friend Kipako. I mean, he's free for me to mention it. I have my friend whom I knew. He comes from a family that is really very humble, like mine, and he had failed. We graduated with him. I was already in my third year. He
When
had
you
not
say
gone
humble,
to
what do you
school.
mean? Humble family, what does that mean?
Humble. They do their best to. I mean, it's very hard for them to get cash to school to their children. Humble in terms of the pocket.
Underprivileged.
Underprivileged. So it's very, every time I say underprivileged, it sounds funny. So he is also from that kind of family. So they failed to get tuition for
I
him.
come from a
Yet,
poor family, so I just say it's poor, underprivileged. But when you say humble, I get confused. Well, English disturbs me, so I just want to make sure everything is clear in my head. Anyways, sorry, let's continue.
you're outsourcing a lot of complicated UK words.
Yeah, let's continue.
It's well for sure, Annette. So ideally, surely, from a poor, I was trying to say, what is really again? I hope it's really motivating to someone there. It's not only whereas you earn, whereas you get, you excel. If you focus on making others great, you can never fail to be great. Ideally, the money that I got, I didn't tell my family about the money, the whole money that I earned from that grant. I used that grant. I know it shocks my family every time I speak about it, but they have understood it, have accommodated it because I've seen how far I have come because of this. I get money to my friend. I mean, I paid it to my friend. I was a student. I had my fellow siblings who also needed the tuition. I mean, school fees. But I saw this boy was very brilliant. I saw the commitment, even when he was struggling in 2 years without before he got without securing a university because of money. He was even actually working on mobile money things. Whenever I would run down of money, he could send me some little money. Yet he was not good. He was not in school. I said, this guy deserves education. I gave him, I paid half of his money. He went to a school which is not the very best for bachelors in education. My family shouldn't know because they know, they will wonder which kind of idiotic mind I'm using to live.
They don't understand how the world works, but I'm sure they won't. That's generosity. I admire that. It's amazing. It's moving. I love it.
But of course, you know why it wouldn't be good before my family, even if it is a Christian family, by the way, all my uncles are reverends, and including my father. So what I can say, they are good. They would love it. But the whole thing is, we have our own children who are very young, who deserve education. And somehow they were failing on tuition, on fees. But I did this because I knew clearly this man bears a big vision. He could save his family, and even if I am in a crisis, he can never forget this act. He will help one of my even if he doesn't help me, I knew I was succeeding. It was a sure deal. I was doing my best after all. So the whole thing is, I wanted him to go and better and transform his family also. And as I talk now, finished a bachelor's in science education, physics, mathematics from Metropolitan University, and immediately he finished, the government, God also ticked the recommendation of increasing the salaries of science teachers, meaning now as I talk, he's richer than most of the engineers currently who haven't got good salary, most of them. So that is how that is the kind of vision I want people to have. So I finished my education with such a kind of blessings. Whereas people were looking at I getting a scholarship from Germany, it was different. When I was going, actually, when I finalized my studies, imagine after finalizing my studies, of course, a hooligan from Kampala town stole my gadgets. I ran bankrupt a little bit. You know, the gadgets is the engine of an elite currently. Whilst you don't have gadgets, you lose connectivity to even the people or potential funders, the potential employers. But that didn't stop me. I still worked with my Munyankole friend who gave me his phone sometimes, and vis-a-vis the other friends of mine, the Muhindo Joseph, I worked just in an interchanging manner. That Munyangole friend, I must say, his name is called Mushabe Benjamin. I am using their gadgets on a scholarship that I saw at another university where I didn't graduate from. Because I already had a vision that I must apply, and now they are stealing my gadgets. And I'm like, no, I'm not idiotic enough to think within a dot. I must think without be out of the dot, out of the circle. I would use other people's gadgets, and I must win a scholarship. And I saw one. Of course, there are very many. But the very first one I applied it to, they had the things, everything, because I finished in 2019 already. COVID was there, but for them, the Japanese were saying, "Hakuna, no jokes. We want researchers. This university is starting. We want it to be great." It was 20. This university, by the way, started recently, but it's already been publishing. When they say best published researchers in Egypt, not Japan, because Japan has very many. By the way, it is called Egypt Japan University, where I got the scholarship. So I'm trying to tell you that they had everything. We actually 2020 when COVID was still even a little bit critical. A lot of COVID. At the same time, I was applying for scholarships. At the same time, I was working in. I got, by the way, a job. How did I get a job? Still, a person who is not even from Kasese.
Sorry.
I got it in a
job. When did you apply for the job?
And now look, this job that I got was not applied for, but I got another one in the midway. But the first one I got was from one just of the familiar faces within the university. That
was after your master's?
Never. Before, I went for master's in 2020, but in between 2019, early 2019, mid 2019 and 2020, end of 2020, I had already worked with over 3 companies.
Okay, now I understand. So after graduating from Deje University, you got the job, and then after working from those 3 companies, you went to Egypt. Got you.
But anyway, so that is it. I have worked on irrigation systems. I have worked on a highway. Of course, as you know, a lot of things.
What is a highway?
Oh my goodness, road construction.
Because irrigation and road construction are different things. So when you say the highway, I wanted to know if there is a term called highway in agriculture. But now I understand.
Never.
Please go on.
Never. As I just told you, even if you want me to design your building, as I told you, every question it that they taught to a civil engineer. Other people decide to specialize, but I put it to myself that why do I have to decide that I have to do one thing before I explore everything? And I decide what do I base on to say this is the best? Of what? Best of what you should be well covered. So I took time. No, every time they teach us a small thing about buildings, me I go and widen it. That's why I was almost running mad with research. But am I mad now? I'm really smiling.
Oh, I mean, I was so moved by the other guy who didn't have tuition and he was running that small mobile money business and he could send you some, financial help whenever you needed help while at the university. That's so moving. And then you used your some of your grant to pay for his school fees. It's amazing. Yeah, that's why my face went sad. Sorry about that. I appeared so sad. No, I was just trying to control my
That is,
emotions, just to be. It's
no,
yeah,
you haven't.
I love it.
You haven't had enough from me. I have much miserable, transformations. A very, very unbelievable transformations that I have caused in some way,
I love
in
the
many ways. So
love the
that
humanity.
that yeah, that is it. Because I told you, I worked by the on one of the project which is in northern Uganda. I was an engineer, but I another person could say I wasted time. Those are one of the. By the way, I spend a lot of. I got some time off, and I could get 20% of my salary, and I make projects in that small village for those children's, because it was COVID, so that they be selling something, and they shouldn't give me any money, but they should be accounting for it. They should be telling me I could do. They installed the chapati stalls, and those who are in agriculture. I encouraged them to make subsistence. I give them a small money, and they
Some capital.
they all cultivate, yes, with a tractor for an entire acre, and they grow things. I even have my brother who is now a lecturer. He's a younger boy also. He is now also doing his master's. It's called the Mompere Moses. What I'm trying to tell you, when I came to Kampala, that boy were also I whenever I come to Kampala, I would come in his small room where he's struggling because he did the procurement and logistics, and somehow it wasn't doing well. He wasn't doing well after graduation. But I'm trying to tell you, I brought some vinyewa guinness from those farmers whom I capacitated in terms, which was in form of OD, processed OD. And these are the people who keep following me on media sometimes when they have these children who now figure out a way after COVID and they go to school. They come and say, Roice, you changed our life. We are missing you on what? And whenever people see this, they love me more. Even those who never knew me, they saw me on media for the first time. These are things that are attracting people. They be like, oh my goodness, this guy is real. Like he's not a fiction guy. Eh? There are people who just on media to attract people popularity.
Yeah.
But I can assure you this transformation that I do on ground, they somehow defend me. Whenever there is anyone who wants to even talk nonsense on media, they come and ask him, "Do you know Roice? Are you even mad?"
I
Those
know.
who have seen me,
When you
that's
see
why I think.
over the years, Rice, when you are real to who you are, and if you do care about people around you, they will always fight for you. I
Yes,
I
please.
don't know. I have tried to answer some questions on TikTok, and whenever I ask anything on TikTok, I get whatever I want in that first hour. I ask anything on TikTok, go in the comment section. We have the answers already. So I feel so loved by people. I don't know why they love me, but I think the main thing is because I'm who I am.
But
I am just
this is it. You show people that life is no meant to be magic. I mean, you show You show the reality of your life, when you're good, when you're bad, and you tell people there is no reason to think about these complicated happenings. Whenever they come, let them perish on as I mean, focus on the good things. And this is what the picture you show people everywhere. I personally, when I follow you, when I go to really feel that I need the Annette, I need Annette to be
No,
near
Annette
me.
needs
It,
Roice.
sorry.
Annette needs Roice. Continue. I just wanted to correct you. Continue, please.
Ah, Annette, okay, Annette. Anyway, it's really interesting. So editor, I feel like, yeah, I am just near the right person, because I love people who wanna be real to the people. Should try to show them that really, no matter the great achievements that you have garnered, it's not anything as to compare as to inspiring people. Because if you really count that it is the most big, the greatest thing, and you will always come and say, you see, you guys, I'm not easy. And no one loves to be, in as much as one people love seeing other people being great, but when it is outspoken and in a manner that is not really motivating, because when you show people that for you, you didn't go under struggles, you don't have the sadness, sometimes you don't have struggles, then you're trying to show people that they have to be robots like you, because that is robotic. It's no human.
No, it's not.
So I mean, yeah, so you are human, and that's what really I think it takes for somebody to really be inspirational and a big icon on whatever media. This is it. I really love you, please, okay? And I
Thank
love
you.
this because it means anyone who can resonate with such a kind of person, then he is good. I mean, it's lovely, because people who are bad, actually, they dislike even seeing the media accounts for those who are true. They want people who will come and show people that things are not easy. We are politicians, and then they use this also to go and create their accounts where they will brag and confuse people that they are the only leaders around. But here, when you try to be natural, you be one with the people. You share inspiration with them. You show them that it's even possible to go outside the world. You travel just because of your writing and speaking. People get encouraged. They go and they also train their language, their speaking communication skills, well knowing that, and in a deep belief that they can also make it. This is what I want to I want to associate to, and I always encourage people to resonate with. Don't be near people who will even make you feel like, oh my goodness, I can never improve. No, I wasn't the best in English after being in the bad schools. Which kind of good English do you expect from a bad school? But it's a motivation. If you're really encouraged and you really are passionate to become a great person. Whenever you find people who speak well, try to take time and be like, oh my goodness, how does this person, how does he really craft his speech? Like, he sounds nice. I mean, you will go take time and you practice, you'll be good before you realize. And this is what happens to me. Every time I see a great person coming to our school, rarely, once in a while, I be like, oh my goodness. I mean, I think this guy speaks well because he uses sign language. He says this and this. I be like, oh my goodness. When I'm with my fellas, when I'm discussing, I try to practice, and they be like, you guy, you are changing slowly, slowly. And before they realize, I'm no longer in the circle of the poor communicators.
I think it's just a combination of both, having the message and being so clear.
I agree with you. I am saying the message only comes when you focus on what the people need.
Exactly, and how they are going to understand you.
And what they need, you have to speak exactly what what really intrigues it, and what really fosters it. If they say, you get a scholarship by just clicking here, no. Tell the people the reality of how you can fail many.
Exactly, in the clear manner.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't fail, but I have been with other people who have failed many times. Not many, actually, most people first fail and then they pass. So ideally, I know that. I mean, the truth is, once you tell people about what they should expect, the challenges and the goodnesses, they will be like, wow. That is in terms of scholarships. I mean, or if there's anyone who loves scholarship things, he should know that there is a failing bit which is never the judgment.
Exactly.
Because even a poor scholarship, by the way, a fake scholarship will reject you, but a better one will come and on the very same motivation letter, it says you are the best.
Yeah,
So there are
that's
many
right.
contributing factors for sure. Sometimes you could apply when that time even maybe they were very busy and they didn't look into your motivation letter. There were 10,000. You applied very late. For you will not know that. You will just think what they didn't. They will not.
We
They will
have
not tell you.
we have less than 1 minute, Roice, but I think I'm going to call you again. We haven't finished, Roice. I have to ask a few more questions. Roice, don't go, please. I promise only 10 more minutes, okay? 10 more minutes. Only.
Okay, then.
I'm on my knees. A few more questions, not more than 10 minutes. I beg and I promise. So, Roice, you got you did
Yes.
get a government scholarship. Did you get a government scholarship or not?
The network isn't just right. What about now? Like let's just confirm maybe by singing. Oh my God!
Oh
You
my
so
God.
wonderful.
OMG.
You really are so wonderful, my Lord. Thank you. Okay. Then I think I can hear you rightly.
Okay, perfect.
It's
Okay.
now well.
So Rose, you said that you went to Ndeje University, and I just wanted to confirm, did you get a government scholarship and a course you didn't like and just abandoned it, or you didn't get a government scholarship and then you went to Ndeje where your family paid tuition for you?
I get the government scholarship, which is called district quota,
Or district
but
quota, yeah.
course under economics. I did not. I was totally not interested in it at Chambogo.
Oh, so they wanted
You know,
to go to Hamburgo to do economics there.
yes.
Okay.
Our network is already weird again. I hope you are still hearing me.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, they gave you a district quota scholarship to go to Chambogo University to pursue economics, but you didn't like the course, so you decided to go to Ndeje.
And unfortunately, it was even diploma. It was very funny. I did my best to ensure that the family doesn't know, because the family was to knows about that you have an offer. Once they know that you have an offer, even if it is a diploma, I mean, because of the financial inability, somehow it's not even inability, because in the end they afford it. But just any family in most of the African countries, once they know it is something you have been offered a free offer, it doesn't matter the value. I mean, so ideally, I was like, no, why don't I go for my engineering at private? So I just said, please, let's just fight with the private. Nothing came out from the government. Oh, so I couldn't go for a diploma in economics.
And make that decision. You were smart to make that decision. I would tell you why, but not.
Yeah.
For let me protect myself.
Any other question?
Sure you were.
Yes, since you might have many things to ask afterwards.
Yeah, and even
when we have
from the public, I won't say anything, but you were smart not to do that course.
Yeah. But everyone who is doing it, I am even helping people who are doing that course to go for scholarship. They have got them, but I mean, definitely there will always be a variable difference in privileges.
Yeah, there are more
In terms
opportunities in your course than in economics.
full stop. And I mean period. Full stop is a full stop an English word really because it is full stop. A
Done.
full one, a stop. Full one,
What were some of the culture shocks at the university? Because you grew up in a village, now you're transforming, you are just moving from a village in life to the university life. What are some of the things that shocked you?
just to know, the first thing you interact with when you're going to a new community is the scenery itself before you talk to anyone. When you enter you are in a vehicle, you haven't got out of the vehicle. I'm telling you, the university itself, where it was located, the way I used to hear about campus, I didn't imagine that some campuses are just eliminate. Actually, most of them are located to a hill. Even Makerere, which is in the town, it is located at a hill. So this one was now in a hill, but in the remote area of the country. I was imagining, I was like, okay, I am from the village, but we went to Kampala, the city. And then we have left the city. We are climbing a mountain in Luwero. I mean, I was, by the time I reached campus, the whole of my mind was full of disbelief in what we are going, the stuff we are going into. I'm like, probably, I think this is the most undermined university. It might not even be. Ideally, I felt like university is something to do with you must have it in the city. You must see passing over here and here. Let me shock you. Actually, my very first time I reached in a city, this is the only chance I had to go to a city. I had never reached Kampala until I finished A6.
Senior 6, A level.
My other brothers, sisters used to go in weddings in Kampala to go and check on my uncles in Kampala. Of course, like one of the uncles who contributed to my tuition is in Kampala called Godfrey Masareka. He's a great man. Yeah, I mean, he's lovely. Yeah. So I want to tell you, I had never got just to even come to his home because by the way, I was also so a little bit, I mean, I don't know. I was cooking business, even in the holiday where we are supposed to go with some other people for a vacation. I am in those things of mine of MLO family moving library, coordinating those students who are from Mundare at the village level to come and teach those who are at the village, those ones teaching the other ones. I mean, I was the problem in everything, but nevertheless, the beauty of the campus kept on unleashing itself. Before I realized there wasn't any bush around me. The campus was very busy. Actually, it's just actually so lifeless in times of the holiday. So definitely, I was reporting. I was among the first people to arrive. The campus was really lifeless. But until people came, even those of the printers opened their things, and the hostel was having these hoofers called the theaters. Those who are, I mean, I was like, okay. You mean it was not a village? Somehow. But, the language used at campus, I was from the village. I knew, we cannot speak English, but there is an English which comes from these slogans. It's not that it's English, but it's from these groups. Or let me say, this is status quo of the modern.
I know.
Kara has checked. Everybody who studied from Kampala within Wakiso knew Kara. Kara has checked. Me, I was like, who is Kara? Kara has checked. Kara is a boy, he has checked a lady. until I realized the kara is umeme. It's electricity. It has gone.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
You also from the Japanese village. I don't know why you went to Japan at degree level. You're not serious. Anyway, never mind me. So, I mean, everything. Actually, they now started calling me the mountain boy, yeah? Because me, I was free to by the way to anything. As even by the way, you could call me short boy. I be like, yeah. The shortest one, man. And you say, but I don't know how. I have, by the way, you have never met me physically, Annette.
Oh.
You might think, okay, for now, you might think I'm still too short. By the way, I'm no longer too short, but I used to be too at campus, too short. I don't know whether it was posture that a little bit stretched me. Anyway.
Did you undergo surgery? Sorry, did you undergo surgery?
Go away. Where do I even get money for plastic surgery? So never. This is life. I mean, that's the mystery of life. Things change, and ideally, what I can tell you, another thing you should know about me. You should, by the way, show the viewers my photo. I love that photo. If you don't show it, okay, you have to. You must show a reason.
How am I not to abide your rules? Roice, I'm under your spell. I'm going to show everything you tell me to do. Roice, come on.
Thank you so much. I wanted to assure you that I was a boy who really could not be distracted by the kind of talks that are non-academic. You tell me things of the babes will not see you smart. You know, Roice, you can look good. Ladies can love you if you put on fitting. I came with unfitted clothes. Unfitted clothes. You get me? Then they tell me, try to fit them so that the problem they couldn't tell me so that you present at a conference and you are liked. No, they could relate it to campus ladies will undermine you, what, and then there I couldn't easily agree. I was so rich with when it comes to things that are related to academic distraction. And so what I mean, you will show the viewers, they will see that really. I was a free, I mean, an easy going person with the way with a humble upbringing. I mean, put on your clothes. Don't have to go and cut it and blah blah blah. I mean, that is taking a lot of time, you know.
Exactly.
I mean,
presenting yourself in the simplest way possible, in who you are comfortable, in, not how others are going to see you. You're wearing for you. Presenting yourself for you.
Yeah, until people realized I was the most loved. Even those who were actually encouraging me, they already saw that I am a man who can speak, and you start forgetting that I look. I am putting on funny clothes. I mean, I used my talking. I say, oh, Sanga, you sir, really, you. I mean, that's nice. That is simple things. I say for sure. Oh wow. I mean, come along and we jazz. They say, you said come what? I mean, I was funny sometimes when I'm in research. I'm very serious. What? After research, I make people happy. You say I have lost my father. I tell you the stories that are miserable than that I've passed through. That I have really, I have won the battles I've won, and you say, kumbe losing my father is not the only thing. I mean, people, I encourage you. You realize that, yeah. I mean, I was this boy who I could fit anywhere, whereas other people were trying to make them,
try to fit in when they don't really have to do so.
I will come and integrate myself in a professional manner. I start even now interacting. For you are there just saying, I want to overtalk. May I talk what will be encourage people, even those who are professors. I tell them, by the way, isn't it possible to win a grant? Some doctors didn't know. I hope some of them don't see this YouTube, but they are now my friends. I could just with
share it on Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok. So finally, they will see it because this channel is gonna be a blast in the future. It's gonna be like,
but you know,
so they will see
but
it.
but
Definitely attractive.
they know it that I advise anyone, whether doctor, even when I was at campus, what I mean, I could even ask a lecturer, and the lecturer reaches a point of actual self-actualization.
Roice, I fear you. You advise even married at 13? Roice, you advise anybody? Yes, I agree. Roice, I agree.
But not the married.
Roice, you said this in the first part or in the beginning of this video.
And what I'm saying,
I believe you.
are you trying to discourage me that I should advise anybody but not the married?
No, I'm saying you even advise the married. It's amazing.
Yes.
From
thank you.
From an early age, 13, 10. You
Perfect.
are incredible. Who does that?
Anyway,
What kid?
the thing is,
anyways,
the thing is, life is a situation. If you put yourself into situations, you read the situations, you will be able to even speak beyond yourself. That's why I tell people that I always struggle to ensure that the experience I exhibit should be always be 10 times my age. People should feel like you have been around for 70 years. I mean, you're designing highways, you're designing buildings. I mean, wow, this is crazy.
It's
because somebody who put me at the irrigation team, yeah, and this takes a lot of commitment, though it might come also at a social cost, which right. You have to take care of. But I have tried to work it out.
Balance
because it's never too late. No, I didn't balance, by the way. I'm sorry. If you ask anyone if he ever saw me in a party at campus, he would be lying. I never attended any
balancing a few because you were doing so many things. So you try to balance so you don't fail some and then excel in some. So you excel in some and then perform average, at least, you know, in others, but not failing any, you know.
Thank you. But for the social bit, I have just caught up now. I was social, but not giving it time. I didn't give social life time the other time.
It's very hard, Roice.
It's very hard.
Do more than 3 things at the same time. That's why I'm so dormant in the group. I post once in a while. Why? I have so many things on my head. I have a assistant right now, but I'm trying to get more
complex superiority. This is a superiority complex that lies behind being an icon. You have really a lot than every single person sees. Those who are on YouTube, they see you as a YouTuber. Those who go on LinkedIn, they see you as a professional illustrator and you know, a sales communicator. They say, oh, like me, of course, as you know. When they are on LinkedIn, the UN people want to learn more about climate. People who are in organizations, those who want to join climate organization, they come and get content from me. So they know me as a content creator, sales communicator, a scientist, a researcher. But when I am in the group, coordinating people, what others say, I'm a researcher, I am a leader, I am a what? I mean, when I come and meet people, I give them mentorship, I give them, they say, my man, you are a motivation speaker, you are everything, you are a top-notch inspirer. I mean, then imagine all this together. And I mean, there are things you just say, no, please, I can't be part of that. Okay, even in your talking, even if you're not so harsh, a situation that is really meant to chew your time, you are likely to be very tough because you know the impact it might cause to the preceding and the succeeding ones. Because you really will have to optimize a lot of things, as you have just said it. You know, you don't wanna, of course, like, you know, the WhatsApp group will not die today. That because you didn't send a message there, whoever is interested will remain there. I mean, but the good thing, you already know there are other mentors. I mean, this is what I'm meaning. So, you know, you have PhD, you know, but what about this YouTube? This that can just kill, I mean, was people don't continue engaging with it, it might get issues. So definitely, You will ensure you post something, you post something, you post something. Those which can wait, yeah. But still, I mean, I thank God that you still are doing great, you know. Yeah, because every
I
time
also
I
do
post your video
appreciate
there,
everything
it
you do.
helps a lot of.
Yeah, so
Thank you
that's
so
like
much.
an indirect way of contributing to the group. So I post some things, maybe my CV, my personal statements there on YouTube. And then, I love how you support me, Royce. You see my video, as long as you notice that there is something good in it, you post it in the group. Even, without me, I don't have to ask you to do that. So that is pure support and love. I do appreciate it, Royce. So thank you so much.
But we are here to grow. I mean, if you fail to grow, then how will I even? What will I tell the world that I associated to somebody who failed? Never. I
Me
mean,
too.
I can't see.
If I see you failing, what will I tell the world? That I connected it to the guy who is just a failure? No, I can't risk
Yeah,
this. So keep
thank
doing your
you.
best.
Thank you
So,
so much.
Royce, can I ask one more question? How long was your course? 4 years, 3 years? 4 years.
Can you see this? Yes.
4 years. What
It
was the hardest experience you went through, and how did you overcome it? Only one, only one.
one.
Mm.
Well, what I can tell is that okay, I had the social issues. I mean, not really, not social conflicts. No, but I mean, you see, balancing the. I had a dream of ensuring I get experience. Engineering is practical, but reasoning engineering in a practical manner
Is hard.
you'd find it's one area at campus. It's only one area where the lecturer is practical. Other lecturers are theoretical. He was just an academia. He unfortunately he didn't even find an advanced lab. He didn't go outside. At least if he went outside, he might have got the experience from the laboratory. So I want to tell you, it was very hard. I had a vision of assuring I become a transformational sales leader. I mean, a person who will affect other people of other disciplines, which I have started, of course, in terms of the way I'm doing it, of course. Leave alone the scholars. Those ones, it is mentorship, general mentorship. But I mean, I want to be a transformational leader in sales. And this was my dream. But you can't lead people when you're not practical in everything. And you won't have this chance once you leave campus because you will start working money and you'll have no time for learning.
Yeah.
So how to do this? It was very hard because, but it was in a sense that the only way I can get this is by assuring I train. I have enough training, and there seemed to be less time than what actually was required of me. I needed training in highways. I needed the training in water, especially that my project was a little bit multidisciplinary about along the construction. Highway buildings, I had a task of knowing about hydropower, renewable energy. But guess what I did? I realized we only have two internships. I voiced to myself that with or without, as a must, no matter which opportunities come, even if some internships come with money, after training with one sector and they have known you, they are likely to say, come back and on another training, we shall give you something. I decided that no. The target is I must train in all the different sectors.
Okay.
And I must create unsupervised training in a holiday that is meant for free for our for family or what, for going to check on the village. Those ones, all of them I said, no, I must look for companies in the area which I haven't exploited. So I can tell you, by this, everyone will tell you Roice was lost. The person who was loved at home, the person who had made association, and they were now self-sustaining. That's the beauty of it. But people were missing me. People missed me. It was 4 years of no coming home. Other people can get that one holiday, which is of 2 weeks. They will be rare. They will just come in those 2 weeks and get back. Me, I even used the 2 weeks, for instance, to go, and I requested people who were constructing a hydropower dam, because this one was very hard to get. They are rare. I went there. I requested to have a training there. They asked for an introductory letter from the university. The university, it was not time for that. The university could not introduce me, of course. But I told them, please, this is for my life. My vision is perishing. I was now a motivational speaker. It's only you who can save my future. I already know highway, I already know water, drinking water supply. I already know how to design buildings, but I don't know hydropower. So I went on a hydropower that was newly constructed in Kasese, luckily enough, my home district, and I trained there, and that's how I'm almost everything. The only chance, the only risk I served was to get confused totally, as I wouldn't become a person. I was like a robot. But finally, God saved me by assuring that I am good at media, and media is not for robots. Media, you will have to see what other people are doing even when you are not there. So it brought me back to how again to interact with my people, and again here I am, an engineer, a researcher, and a humanitarian person, as you might want to call it. Thank you. I don't know whether you are still hearing me.
Roice, I'm just trying to combine whatever you went through, and then, the courage
please
and strength, Roice.
I told you, whenever you just with me, don't overthink. Once you overthink, you will be chewed up. I mean, you feel like this is like the memory is full, like your memory will bring this reddish thing. Hello, storage out of capacity. So don't think.
Something small.
The good thing you're recording, and we shall always go back there. I will also go and appreciate the video when it is out. But I hope this is something, because you have not had a half of my journey. This was just the 30% of my journey.
Because I have had a lot. I have had a lot. Don't say it's 30%. I feel like I'm in 80%. Roice, I want to ask you something. Because I have other students quickly. When you got these internships, who was the main driver? Were you helped by your family members? Were you helped by your lecturers? Who was the main driver?
What? Helped by family members? Who were even asking me how I have got there? They were even the lecturers were asking how they should get there. What you should know about me, whereas I was in class, every time I'm in class, I find a course unit that is illustrated in a manner that is impractical. I see it is interesting, but the things they explain are in the field. I chop one lecture. I go to the office to look around Kampala. If I find an office which is written on quantity surveying, and that was a course unit studied at campus, I go and ask them, please, do you mind sharing your ideas with me? They just chase me. They say, go away. What? Some of them even speak Chinese. And I say, really? Oh my! I feel like really, and what I tell you, the truth is, almost most of the CEOs in Kampala know me. Ideally, most in those who have companies, I could just go and I start initiating. I say, please, I have been studying this course unit, and I am almost finishing my semester. I am almost not understanding what is about quantity. I mean, I understand it, but the things are done in calculation. We are quantifying a building, and this is taking us almost 5 months to quantify it. I mean, we quantify only the beam, only the iron sheets, but whole structure. I mean, how do we do this by hands? I wanted to come here and you tell me how exactly it is done. And somebody tells me, a beautiful mind. A few of, even though I have told you about the Ching Chuan and whatever, the Chinese who sent me away, but I can assure you, because of the beauty of my request, most of the people is found a heart welcome me. And this is how I could get this the internship. Like the one I'm telling you in Kasese, no, they could just see these big vehicles. No one in Kasese knew those engineers who are working there. Actually, none of them was even from. I know one of them was from Kasese. Sorry, they were two hours, but most of the engineers were not from Kasese. But what I want to tell you, I knew it from the head office. I found it. You already have even a project in Kasese. We shall take you there. It's you need power. So this is how it happens. People have to be careful. Like they really have you. Whereas you're doing theory, I mean, to go and interact with the professionals. I didn't say go and get time and look for Malayas. Acha wewe. I must say acha. I mean, if you're looking for ladies or wife, okay, don't. I mean, those viewers who are there, look for beautiful mind who will marry. Not. I mean, look for profession. Look for. I mean, just be very focused. Anything you do, someone should ask you, why are you with Annette? I mean, you should be able to explain, yeah? Not that you're just you want to confuse Annette. You want to confuse Annette that you chew her money. You can't chew Annette.
Yeah, so in a brief, students yes. must go out there to look for opportunities by themselves, and they shouldn't stop looking for opportunities even when they are rejected. They should keep fighting, right?
Yes, and as well, they should show that they have understood the reason to why they are going outside. The problem is when they ask, what will you learn? You have not gone on YouTube to go and ask what a company of this kind does. You're already telling them anything. For me, anything. No. They will know you have not read anything.
You have over 10,000 followers on LinkedIn. I saw it and I'm like, excuse me, boy. You're a celebrity. You're a celebrity. Huh?
And I usually say one LinkedIn following is equivalent to 1,000 Facebook followings. So ideally, those are professional followings. 10,000. Of course, I have more than actually 1,000 people at least who are on LinkedIn because I'm there. Every time I meet somebody, I tell him, you need LinkedIn. Of course, just like I can tell you, you need Jesus. You also need LinkedIn if you mean seriousness with your career, and that's what I usually tell people. Anyway, I'm really glad. I'm comfortable calling you sister, because at first when I saw that you are going for a PhD, I said, should I start calling my friend mom? But you all young, you just remain my sister, dear sister Annette. I really am glad to always see you around, impacting people. And I mean, YouTube, TikTok, and you're on LinkedIn. I mean, and you even agreed to be in my mentorship group where you are our great mentor. Of course, I cherish you.
But I do
Flowers.
nothing. Royce, I do less. I think I do 0.1%. I feel so bad that I don't contribute so much. You don't understand how bad I feel.
And who doesn't know you're busy? I trust that after you will have time, then you will also join the fellow Nigerians who are very busy. You know, of course, that one we have to say it. Nigerians are really very vibrant there. But I think it's because I also love doing PhD. By the way, among our mentors, we have the one who got 10 offers of PhD in USA. I mean, these are things I keep being proud of, and I just imagine the kind of people are brought together: Nigerians, Ghanaians, Ugandans, Kenyans, all around the world. Sierra Leone. They usually, of course, I hope this time around they won't castigate me. They might accuse me again that I pronounced it wrongly. But I have people from Sierra Leone, but they say Sierra Leone. I think this is how, I don't know. That's how they really pronounce it. But that beautiful country, I have all these people in one group. And these Nigerians, oh, they are very serious. Oh, I think that's why that guy even got 10 PhDs. The guy is very serious. He's called Kingsley Safo. He's a Ghanaian, by the way.
Yeah.
So I can assure you that every time I talk about academics, I be like, wow, I'm just in the most beautiful place again. I feel really nourished, you know. I'm fattening, I think, even as we talk, like we are talking about career.
I do love
amazing.
Guys, for those who don't know about that mentorship group, we shall leave a link for you to join. Yeah, we have their rules, definitely. But we shall leave, I think it's good to just put the link in the description box of how to join that group if they are willing.
Yes,
right?
Thank you. I will really be able to attach the E4S mentors group where we all minds in Africa, especially people who are living abroad, are our mentors, so that they have seen the truth of how really you can get from from our gardens to then catapult to those higher levels you enjoy USA, just like Annette is now bragging. UK is UK your home? How do you even come to feel so sweet here? I mean anyway, it was what you worked.
Roice, we have 30 seconds. So I wanted to use this time to say thank you so much, everybody, our viewers. Roice, you are incredible. You are amazing. You have flabbergasted.
Welcome, please. Thank you. A bragabasa. I mean,
don't forget to share this video. Roice, I will have you again. Yes. I love you. Thank you so much. I can't wait to meet you one day in person.
All right.